Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining me this Saturday morning on January 28th, I believe already. This month is flying by for me, is it for y'all? It has been busy, busy, busy. I hope you will let me know when you tune in. If you'd let me know your name and where you're from, that would be awesome. And if you are tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, either one, that's going through StreamYard. So if you'd like for me to know who you are when you make a comment, you'll need to sign in and do whatever it is that StreamYard told you to do when you got invited to join us. So thanks, Rebecca. Good morning. Glad you joined. I am excited for you to watch the replay if you don't get to catch me live anytime. I'm really trying out this Saturday morning deal at 10:30 to see how that works for everybody. And today we're going to be talking Taco Fiesta. I've made some alterations, big alterations to the paper pumpkin kit from December of 2022. And so I didn't think about last night. We had a Taco Fiesta party, and I didn't think about trying to reserve one of each kind. So I only really have two of the four designs that I did, but I will be posting those on my Facebook blog, the individual photos of how I changed up the paper pumpkin. And I really just wanted to let you think kind of like I did. I got the little December alternative set, and it wasn't the colors that I wanted it to be, and I really needed something with the taco kind of fiesta-y brighter colors. So I just totally altered it. So I just wanted to show you today how easy that is to do so that you can think a little further outside the box, as Rachel Tessman always says. But anyway, glad you're here. I have one Facebook user. Hi to you. Not sure who that is, so glad you're here. If you want to let me know who you are in the comments, that would be great. And one of my newest team members, Rebecca Thomas, joined, and she was very helpful. I designed this card, and then she made them out for our Taco Fiesta that we had last night. It was quite a fun party. We had 15 of us here for tacos, taco bar, nacho bar, salad, taco salad bar, whatever everybody wanted to make. And we practiced with a little bit of bingo so that I could maybe see how that would work as an online bingo thing. And we just had a lot of fun. So hope some of you others who are team members or folks who got to come last night, let us know if you had a good time. And otherwise, we're going to kind of go through these cards. I was a little rushed with a lot of things going on this week, so I decided we're not going to make the whole card since it takes a while to color with blends. I'm just going to kind of show you how I did that on these individual things and then just explain how we put the card together, because the card itself is fairly basic, no big fun folds or anything. So I'm just going to turn the camera over to where we can. Hi, we have another Facebook user on. Hello. Glad y'all are here, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or the replay. I appreciate it. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, and I have been serving customers in this area since 2005. So, hi, Felicia. Oh, I'm so glad she's here. Felicia is a Stampin' Up! Business development person who has been working with me closely for quite a while. So I'm thrilled that she has joined this morning. And any of you who are watching the replay, y'all let me know comments too of where you're from. That's always kind of exciting to see how far my creativity can spread. I love inspiring people to think outside the box and make some new fun folds or new ideas, maybe use some different color combinations than they usually use. So I am thrilled to have you. Hello, Diane. I'm glad you're here, Felicia. And Diane, glad to have y'all. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera down and we're just going to kind of go through a few things. As I said, I will switch this over. All right, full screen. Y'all don't need to watch me all morning. Okay, let me show you how this Paper Pumpkin kit, in case if any of y'all are not Paper Pumpkin subscribers, I will put a link under the video after it's posted and tell you about Paper Pumpkin kits. It's a monthly craft kit you get in the mail. It's a surprise each month. And in December, we had one, Good Things Come in Small Packages. And the Paper Pumpkin kit is $23.50 each month. And that includes shipping. You do have to pay tax, but that includes shipping. And it always has a stamp set and some kind of Stampin' spot that is an ink spot that you can use to stamp your projects. And this month, I'll just show you how different this was. This was all about, this is what came in the kit, and then I changed it totally into Taco Fiesta. So this one had Good Things in Small Packages. You Did It, Cheers and Forever Special Delivery. So it had birthday, congratulations, that kind of thing in here. And that was the focus of the kit. I'll show you a little bit of the flyer. Each time you get a Paper Pumpkin kit in the mail, you'll get all the supplies needed to make whatever's in that kit. And it's usually 9 cards, but sometimes around the holiday, we'll get gift packaging or treat packaging or something like that. But you will get instructions on exactly how to make it and put everything together, what to use the stamps for, and then also the spots, the little Stampin' spots that I mentioned. And it comes, this was kind of a special box. They're usually kind of an orangey color, but you get all the supplies, and then here's the little ink spot. And you can tell these are the little die cuts that I used, the round ones and this little shape right here. And then everything else, all the little flowers and cupcakes and graduation hats and all that kind of thing that are in here, I didn't use them on this kit, but I'm going to save them and use them for something else. So they'll be easy to use for that. So I did use these little tags. That's what I colored on. And you put the boxes together. I'm just going to kind of unmake one of these. This, to kind of show you how I came up with these. This is from, I used the Taco Fiesta set. And these are the images that I used, and then the little greetings or sentiments. Is this not a darling little set? I am from Texas and proud to be, and so is Erica Serwin. She's from San Antonio. She is a fellow demonstrator, and she has had $1 million in sales in her career history with Stampin' Up, which is awesome. Congrats to her. And when that happens, you get to design a stamp set with a Stampin' Up designer, and then it comes out. It takes couple years, but it comes out. So this is Erica. She's from San Antonio, and you can kind of tell that by the whole fun Southwesty kind of theme to it. And love this because I love our Stampin' Up blends alcohol markers. They are just awesome to work with. They're a lot of fun, and you'll get to see me play today with those. Okay, so I took the Fiesta set and totally changed up, as I said, these little Paper Pumpkin boxes because I needed a little favor box. So they were kind of a, let's see, this one was a white and green stripe. You can tell from this little special delivery, you can see that box. See, it started off as a white and yellow box, and I made it bright and added the yellow stripes. You know how I did that? Oh, I'm about to show you. One moment, please. Okay, we're going to get the exact sheet that I use, so you can see you do need a big work surface if you're going to do this. And I'm just going to I'm going to unfold this one and see if I can do it from here. But you can see this is the inside. When you put the box together, I'm going to see if this will peel apart. I left it just the Stampin', our little tearing tape that we usually have is a lot tougher than the one that came in the Paper Pumpkin boxes, but I'm going to take that off so I can show y'all exactly how I did this. So our little boxes, and so I wouldn't put anything real heavy in here if you're just going to use the Stampin' Seal that came in the kit. It is not quite as strong because it's not as wide as the one that you purchase when you purchase it from the catalog, but it certainly does the deal on these little bitty boxes. Okay, I believe I used Daffodil Delight on here. I'm not sure if I used Daffodil or So Saffron. I think I used Daffodil. So we're going to take one of our little blending brushes. This is from a set of 3 blending brushes that you can get in the catalog. And these are little micro bristles on here. And they are just awesome. It makes it so smooth. This looks like it would be foam, solid foam, but you can see all the little individual bristles. So it makes a really smooth. I always used the sponge daubers before if I wanted to do some coloring like this, but this has a lot less smudging kind of look. So you always, when you're using our blending brushes, I tap, and you can hold it with 1 finger, hold it with 2 fingers. Some people hold it with their thumb and do it this way. Whatever works for you. You can use our blending brushes anyway. We're going to tap, 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 and then you rub off onto the paper so that let me see if I can get it to show. See, when you first get that, can y'all see that? Let me lift that up a little bit, because this is more about the technique than showing you the whole thing. But see how smudgy that looks? So you don't want that on your card, all smudgy like that. So if you'll get the first smudgy part off on a piece of paper, then rotate onto your paper or box or whatever you're doing. And of course, this isn't going to be totally great because it's got tape right here. I'm going to try to avoid that. But you can see how I am totally changing the personality of this little box that was just white and green and would be great for a baby card, or, you know, it's great for a lot of things. I just wanted a brighter look. So that is all it takes, folks, to totally change it up. Does that blow your mind? Have you ever felt limited by something that came in a kit and it wasn't quite the color you wanted, or you needed another color in it besides the one that was in the kit? See, you can fix it, change it. Easy as that. Okay. And then I would just, to put this back together, let's show you the little, hang on 1 sec. Well, y'all can imagine, maybe this is sticky enough just to go on here. Oh, I was going to undo the box too. And I have a little gift that I'm going to send to somebody who makes a comment. I'm going to send a pair. These came in our last catalog, and they were just retired not too long ago. These little deals were in our Splendid Day catalog. Can y'all see those? And I turned them into earrings. And that's what my Create with Kelly crew got last night at the Taco Fiesta that we had. So somebody today who wasn't here last night, make a comment, and then I'll draw between your names, and y'all will get a pair of Splendid Day earrings. How about that? So that's what I put in my little box. I was going to show you too how easy the box that came in the kit, the Paper Pumpkin kit from December. And I'm not sure, I meant to look before I went on the air and just didn't have time. But if there are some available and you decide to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you can actually do a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month subscription. And then you will be eligible for any of the past kits that they have kits or refills of online. And this is a great time to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin because we are in our celebration catalog time period. And that means that for every $50 you order, you can order a level 1 item, which is free with a $50 order. Or if you order $100 worth, which it would be if you needed a 6-month subscription or a 12-month, you could get some of the $100 items free along with your Paper Pumpkin subscription. If you do the prepaid subscription for several months. So if y'all have any questions about this, you let me know and I'll be happy to help you with that. But if you decide this Paper Pumpkin kit might be for you, if you can't get to classes or you don't live in Lubbock, the Lubbock area, and can't come to my classes, This is a great way to learn to play with our products and make a collection with your stamp set and stamp spots. So this is the way the boxes came, flat, back to this. All right. And all you have to do on the box, you'll go along with your bone folder. I didn't even do the bone folder, but you could if you want really crisp folds. I didn't think it was that big a deal. So I was in a hurry and I just folded them all up. So fold all your scores in, and you can tell obviously this is the bottom part of the box and that's the top. So all you do is fold in these little tabs right here like that. And you've got a little hole. You can see this little hole here at the bottom. That's what this tab is going to fit into that slot. So you just make sure these tabs on the sides are in, and then you fold that in and fit it in the slot, and then do the same thing on this side. So now you can see how that pink, you can see that poking through the slots. So that's the whole box. And then you just fold these sides and front in, and there's your little box. And these, it was awesome because you had a choice of colors. You could flip it either way and have one color inside, one color outside the box. Oh, thanks, Felicia. Glad you like the earrings. That was a fun thing to do for my crew members. And you will be getting a pair yourself. Thank you for the comment. Okay, so you could put candies in here. You could put anything. But this particular box had the earrings wrapped up in there. All right. So you just fold that up. And then after you've gotten this label done, oh, I was going to show you. I put my box in and then wrap this around it. Okay, so you don't want it to fit too tightly or you won't be able to pull it in and out. But if you'll give it a little bit of space there, when you put that strip on, you've got a strip in the kit. Or you could do this just with a piece of paper or cardstock, wrap it around a little box. A lot of options with this. But just wrap it around there like that so it's not too tight, and that way you can slide the box in and out. Okay. All right. So when I use the little doohickeys here, I was going to show you. I kind of had a color scheme in mind, really just kind of anything bright and cheery, which is kind of what I'm all about anyway. I love bright and cheery. Okay, so we've got Stampin' Blends. That's what I was going to show you here. That this, again, you don't have to have just a plain white circle. You can dress that up to match whatever you're doing. So what I did was use a blend. Since I was using some of the crumb cake, this is done in Daffodil Delight and crumb cake here around the edge. I just wanted to show you how easy that is to make a coordinating edge. I think I used the dark crumb cake. Let's try it. I've got so many blends in here. We were just playing. It is like, I love coloring. I loved coloring when I was a kid, and it is really fun to have an excuse to do that as an adult. Also. Okay, so you don't have to see all the mess now. We'll just switch this over. You do want to make sure you've got paper under your work surface because the blends are alcohol based, and so they bleed through, which is fine because nobody's looking at the back of whatever you're coloring. But I just took this and went around the edge, and it doesn't have to be exact. This is a homemade, handmade card, and you are going to create it your way, and people will just really appreciate the fact that you made it for them. They're not going to notice that a couple of these little spots are not exactly colored the same as the ones right before it. They won't know that it's not an exact circle. And I just kind of made the rounds around the edge. So of course you could use any color you want and any shape of die cut you could do this with. But it kind of makes it look like there's another layer underneath there and ties in the crumb cake color. All right, see how easy that was? Now, let's see, from those of you who are watching, would y'all rather see me do a taco? Do you want to see a corn tortilla taco or a soft flour tortilla taco? Anybody have a request? We could do either one of these. If you want to do whichever one you want to do, you just let me know and we'll do it. Or I may have time to do both. We'll get this mounted while y'all are telling me. Crispy taco, soft taco. Okay. Rebecca says soft taco, so we'll start with one of those. And I'll show you how easy this is to do. Thanks to Erica designing this cute little set. And I use Memento ink, Memento Tuxedo Black. And it is a dye ink just like our regular stamp pads are. But it's really the only black out there that really works really well. Stampin' Up! Used to make a black and it kind of turned purplish or something. It's the only color that Stampin' Up! Just, I think it's like all the other brands. Anybody who sells any supplies, it seems like that the black that they use is going to be Memento. Let me get my Stampin' Pierce map. Okay. Kind of changed my camera evidently and didn't realize, so I'm kind of in a different spot, but that's all right. Let's stamp that one. And then we'll go ahead. Why don't we go ahead and do the other one too. We'll do one soft and one crispy. And guess what I had for breakfast? Yes, it was a taco. We had a lot of taco meat and cheese and all that left last night after our Create with Kelly Crew fun Taco Fiesta party. And I will be posting photos of that on our Create with Kelly Crew group. So y'all flip over to that. Give me a day or so. Probably, yeah, till tomorrow at least. Working on my husband's birthday party that's tonight. So nothing like having one at your house one night and then being responsible for one somewhere else on the next night. Oh, goodness. We all have to keep busy, though, don't we? All right. Life is fun. Anybody else doing anything exciting lately they want to share? While I get my blends ready. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to get the light crumb cake and the dark crumb cake. And you could do this with some of the color, I forgot what those are called. The ones that are in the 100 up to 1,000, the skin tone collection, I guess that's what it's called. You could use that color. You could use a little bit darker brown, but this is about as dark as I thought it should go. And I started with the light, and this is such a small area. When I use blends on such a small area, I use the bullet point. Each of the blends has a bullet tip and a brush tip. Okay. And you be careful when you're putting your blend markers back together. Make sure I always hold this hand. I connect this hand to this hand and snap that cap. You should hear it snap. So that way, you know, it's on tightly. So it doesn't dry out quickly, because it can, it's alcohol. Okay. I'm kind of going around all the edges with the light first, which is usually what I do. Light first. And then I go back in with the dark, and I'm going to kind of add more of those wherever Stampin' Up! Gives you extra lines or cross hatches or something. That's where they intend for that to be a little darker. So I'm going to kind of make it a little darker here, kind of around the edge just to show up. And then I always go a little darker, like this lip is folded over the other one. So when you make it darker on the other side of this lip, that's going to look more shadowed, which is what we want. Okay. So I'll put a little on this side here and there, not on the whole thing, but make sure this is darker underneath because that's where the shadow is. It's more shadowed on the edges than on the top. So then we're going to go back with our light and do the little whirly twirly thing to kind of blend that in so that it's not all the same, as of course no tortilla is going to be the same all the way. And leaving some white is fine. The tortilla is mostly white anyway, that light tortilla like this. Oops, hadn't been checking for comments. Y'all aren't making any. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anything. If y'all have any questions as we go, just be sure and ask. I will look up every now and then. It's a shame we don't have a beep or something when we get a comment so we know when to when to look up. But I get into the fun coloring and forget to look. Okay, so that's kind of how you do it. And then since this is so light, I'm going to use the color lifter right here on the edge, and that will blend that out even more. And then maybe take a little of this. But it doesn't have to be exact. All you're doing is giving an indication that this is a soft taco, right? Okay, now we're going to use some green. And I thought the parakeet was a little light. I think I tried the granny apple and the parakeet. Light parakeet party. But I'm going to use the light granny apple green in here first. Cover most of the whole thing. A little bit of white highlights is fine. In IMO. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and color this other lettuce on this one also, which I'm just assuming this is lettuce. Since I put it on the green and yellow box and didn't have any other red, I didn't put red, like part of it was tomatoes, but you certainly could. All right, there we go. Now we're going, that was a light granny apple green. Now we're using the dark granny apple green. And I'm just going to put some right here. Like this should be darker because this one to me is underneath that one. And then you've got one back here that's in the back. And then this one is behind this. So I start with those shadows that way. Okay. And I think it would be lighter on the tips. And all this is just my opinion, peeps. Just do it your way. You're creative too. You just do it however you want. It's your card. But I'm just going to take the light back in, blend that a little bit, just so you have a little multicolor. Can you see that? So that to me is kind of a soft taco. Okay, now we'll get our Daffodil Delight. I think I started with some So Saffron, maybe the dark. And possibly because my Daffodil Delights were running out. I have just ordered some new ones. In fact, I may have some over there, but we'll see. Let's go with some dark saffron to start with. And on this area, if I've got enough of an area like this, a broad area, whoop, yep, this one is shot. You can tell if you use your blends, this was used in a class and somebody just colored and really used a lot of pressure. So that will fray your ends if you do that. Not recommended. Okie dokie, let's try this one. Much better. So we're going to go around so you can see how much difference that makes with the broader tip. And I'm not worrying about, I went out of the line there, but we're going to fussy cut this out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I did the whole taco in taco shell in the light Daffodil Delight. Then I'll go back with the dark. And since I'm just doing the edges, I'm going to go back to the bullet point on that one. Go around the edges here. like that. And then another thing with the blends, you don't have to stick with the same exact color. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. We've got that. Because tacos kind of have a little bit of a tan color in there along with the yellow. It's not just solid yellow. So I'm going to use just a little bit of the dark crumb cake like we used on the soft taco. Go in like that and then go right on the very edge with the dark. I'm just kind of going right on top of where I did the dark So Saffron. And then I'm going to go with the light crumb cake. Normally you would blend the light Daffodil Delight onto the dark Daffodil Delight. But what we're going to do, just to show you, you can change things up. You can use the light crumb cake to do your little swirly thing. And it goes over the not So Saffron, Daffodil Delight. Just fine. Now we'll let that, as you let it dry, it blends a little more. You can just play with it. If it gets too much one way or the other, you can make a change. Okay, let's go back to the light now. I think that got a little too much brown in there for me. So we'll use a little more of the yellow. But that kind of gives it some texture, and you've got darks and lights, and I think we're going to go a little bit more dark. And I'm probably exaggerating here just a little bit, but just wanted to see that blends are used for playing. You don't have to be perfect, and you can really do some pretty blends with it. Okay, I think we need to go back in on our lettuce. Give that a little bit of the darker green. This is the dark granny apple. Then go back again with the light to blend that in. And I intended to do some playing last night. We're going to have a different class where we do some punch art, taco punch art, where we can use some dies where you're kind of thinking out of the box there too, and use something that may be a flower petal, but it could turn into a tomato if you cut it out in red. So hello, Connie from New Mexico. I bet you can relate to the soft tacos and crispy tacos from this set from that Erica Serwin designed. Okay, let's see. We're going to keep those out. And then all you would do is just take that and fussy cut those out with your little paper snips, which I do not know if I have in here today. After that party last night, we just kind of threw everything in a room and cleaned up the kitchen and went to bed. So I won't cut them out in front of y'all, but you'll know. Just take your little paper snips and you can go around the edge of those pretty easily and cut those out and add those, pop those up onto a card if you want, or you can do them flat. Now, let's go ahead and finish up one of the, go ahead and finish. Oh, I should have put that on here. Let's see. Let me grab my little toolkit and be right back. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Got my scissors. And I will always try to leave just a little bitty bit of a white border around when I'm fussy cutting out. And if you'll kind of move the paper and not the scissors, okay? Kind of keep the scissors in one spot, cut in that area and move the paper around. That seems to work a lot better. It does for me anyway. Once I learned that trick, I really liked it. But if you leave a little white, that gives you a little wiggle room so that if you totally get out of the line, if you're trying to cut right on the line, then you may cut the line off. So this way kind of gives it a little halo effect around it, I guess. I just think it makes it pop more if you have that little bit of white contrast on the black line. Okay, then you can go back if you've got some areas that aren't trimmed as well as others. Okay, so then you could just pop this up with dimensionals on here. You could actually stamp something on here if you wanted this to be like stamp a little background or put some little chips behind it or use anything, whatever you want, and pop that up, and that can go on a card as well as a box, anything. So very flexible. This is a fun set to just do a bunch of these up, and then you'll have them ready to make it into a birthday card or whatever you want it to be. So y'all get the drift on that. And then do y'all like the faces? Erica has designed some little faces. Do you like y'all let me know what you like the best, and if you want me to put a face on my taco. We have the little mustache face. You can do it just like this, or we have, here are our choices. We have the little smiling face and the oh face. That's what I think of. I don't know what kind of face y'all call that. And the little wink face, and I guess this is a sleepy face. I don't know exactly what that emoji type face would be, but my husband has a wonderful gray mustache that's really pretty, and so I kind of like the mustache one, but it depends. That's definitely a masculine one. So do y'all want me to put a face on this taco just to see how that varies, how a face on a taco would look versus non-face? Y'all want to see that, anybody? Or do y'all prefer the one without the face? Rebecca likes no face. Hello, Judy Walton. She was another one of my team members and Create with Kelly crew who came last night. So she wants to see a face. So since we have one plain and one without a face, y'all name a face. Do you want the mustache or you want something else? Anybody? I know there's a little bit of a delay from when I ask you and when I hear. So right now I'm looking at the little winky face as a possibility. Boy, you have to be careful when you're doing these small faces. Oh, Judy wants the mustache. Okay. We will do the mustache. Put that back. Do the little mustache. Here we go. And Judy and Rebecca, did y'all get a notification on the Create with Kelly crew page that this was on, or did y'all just remember and have it on your calendar? I'm just wondering if those go through when I do it on StreamYard, how that shows up for y'all, because I don't get to see that. Okay, we're just going to put the little mustache face right in the middle. Boop. How cute is that? This is such fun to play with, this little set. Faces or no faces, either way. Okay, so you can see how you can play with that. And we'll put this back together. This is, I did a little avocado, and that is with some granny apple green and a little bit of garden green. Let me put a piece of white so y'all can see that a little better. This was on one of the little tags that came in the paper pumpkin kit. Okay, I'm glad you got the notification. Good, good. So I used a little bit of yellow in here, either the So Saffron or Daffodil Delight mixed in with the green. And that's what I was saying. You can start with one color of blend. You don't have to go, each one comes in a pair, a combo. You buy the, like if you're buying the granny apple green, you're going to buy the light and the dark at the same time. But you can combine colors like this. And sometimes They don't totally blend, which is awesome on this because an avocado has little hints of yellow and little hints of tan and little hints of green. So I have used the yellow here, the Daffodil Delight, and the crumb cake, and maybe a little soft suede along the edge. And then on the inside, used a little bit of the light granny apple green and the daffodil. And then I used some garden green on the outside edge. Okay. So you just play with something. That's part of the fun of blends. So that's how I did that. And then I just went ahead and tied a bow around the box. We'll see if I can get this back on the box. Since I didn't have any extras, I made all 16 of my boxes for my peeps. Okay, let's see here. So we can put that back on, but your recipient can just slip the box open without having to undo any of this. I just wanted to show y'all how I did it. Okay, and then you can decide where, if you want this up or down. It could be anywhere. And then I just chose some coordinating paper. This is out of the in color. Well, maybe this is not the in color, but it's from the pack of paper that comes with several different patterns, polka dots and stripes and all, that are in solid colors. And you can get it in each of the color families, the brights, regals, subtles, and neutrals. And then you can also get a pack with the in colors. Okay. So I used the twine that came in the kit and then decided I wanted the avocado on here with the little taco. And then I just wrapped this, I actually pulled both, whoops. You kind of have to hook that around and then pull your knot up to kind of cover over that. And then I think I kind of like things, they don't have to be symmetrical to be balanced. Okay. So you don't have to have the same on one side as you do the other, but you do need some kind of balance. And this to me is it's heavier at the top with this here. Okay. So you've got a big focal point here. So I think it would be too much if you had this up at the top. Let's just look. See, that doesn't really work to me. That doesn't look balanced. So I moved this one down, and we're going to, now I've got the string over the avocado, which I didn't really want. We're going to put that, hang on. Let's do that again, since I've moved it all around twice. Now, just attached it that way. Okay. So I think that is cuter to have that, and you can have it at an angle. Not everything has to be straight. I know some of you may be that personality type who thinks everything has to be exactly straight, and I feel for you, because this is, paper crafting is not an exact science. So there's that. And I just wanted to show you, a lot of times I will use a color underneath something if I'm going to have an image of some kind, like this pepper. Instead of just having the pepper floating in the air, I like to have something for it to sit on or ground it. Okay. And then I also used, this was the Tahitian Tide, which is one of the new in colors this year. And I wanted a touch of it, but I also I didn't want just this same Tahitian Tide here kind of as my grounding base for this taco. So I, again, used some crumb cake in with the blue when I did the blends. I kind of did a mix. So you can see here. So you can see the multicolor in the blends on the background. So this is probably way more than anybody would notice who gets your card or your little box. But anyway, I like playing with shading with the blends, because that's really, they're ideal for that. So this pepper started off with Poppy Parade, I believe. And then I went into some crumb cake oh no, I actually used a green. I use the light garden green. You know how jalapeno peppers are, sometimes they are kind of green turning into red or red turning into green, whichever way they go. And so I used the green stem, a little bit of granny apple, and then some garden green. So just kind of use your imagination and think outside the box, and you can come up with all kinds of things. This one was white, and I used the blending brush with the parakeet party on it and brightened that up a lot. And that way, because I knew I wanted to use parakeet party and granny apple green on this. So it just depends on what you want, and just think it out and plan it out. And this is a simple way to do a gift and really jazz it up. So there you go. See, that would be just as cute with that little mustache. How fun is that? Spectacular. Okay, let me see the card that we did that Rebecca helped me with. I'm so grateful. And this was going to be an invitation to my fiesta, Taco Fiesta last night party, but I didn't get it done in time. Rebecca helped me get the whole outside done. I designed it, and then she helped me cut all of these out. So kudos to her. But all I did was use that same pack of paper that I told you came in the brights and regals and in colors. This is another side of that paper. You get a couple of different designs. So, and that is in our annual catalog. I can pull that real quickly, hopefully, and show y'all that. Just a sec. Hope y'all are having a great day. And if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. I'm happy to help with that. Let's see. Okay. This is the 6x6 Designer Series paper assortment, and it's $12 for 40 sheets. You get 2 each of 2 double-sided designs in 10 colors. And that is item number 1. Well, it's different item numbers for each stack of paper. So just make sure when you're ordering that you get the brights, neutrals, regals, or subtles, whichever one you want. And then these are the end colors. So you can see those are the strips, because I thought these looked fiesta-ish. So that's what I used. And you could certainly make your own boxes. You don't have to have that paper pumpkin kit. You can make your own little boxes. There are all kinds of videos out there on how to make a box out of the cardstock. So all I did here was stamped, and Rebecca did a lot of these too. We stamped the little images from the Taco Fiesta set, the bowl of guacamole, the chips, the lime, the sombrero, the avocado, and the pepper. And we just stamped those in memento, just like I showed you. Use the blends. I always stick with whatever colors that I'm using with blends or my images. I tie those into the colors that are on the Designer Series paper. So I don't care what Stampin' Up! Says matches that particular Designer Series paper pack. I like, for whatever I'm using on my card, to coordinate with the images. So that's what we did. Just cut little 1/2-inch strips and put them on a basic white piece of paper or a piece of cardstock. And then I used the scallop from the scallop contour dies right here. And let's see, the card base is your typical 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I just glued. I found that it was easier to go ahead and take your white cardstock, which is 5 by, probably started off as 5 by 3 3/4 ish, somewhere in there, maybe 3 7/8, something like that. And then you just lay your scallop die onto the white cardstock, cut it out, and then I glued the strips on it, snipped those off, and stamped all these. Let's reverse that. I would stamp everything first and then put the strips on. That way you don't waste the strips if you make a mistake on the stamping. And also another little tip that I thought was really cute was to use the textured, it's not Tasteful Textures. What is that textured die? Judy or Rebecca or Felicia, can y'all think of that? It came out in the fall, and it has kind of fallish words on it. Timeless type, something like that. But that gave it a kind of like a corn tortilla texture. Can y'all see that? But if you do the texture, you want to make sure you do the stamping first. So we stamped the Holy Guacamole on the Daffodil Delight Daffodil Delight paper, and then ran it through the embossing folder. And then I just popped up the little pepper and the avocado onto the little strip here. And this was just punched with the, let's see which. That is with our Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, item number 152883. And you just stick the paper in. You have a choice of 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch paper. So you just stick that in. And you always, another little tip, when you're opening a punch, you make sure and close it completely first, then open your latch, then let it loose. Otherwise you can break it. Okay. So you just stick a little piece in here. I'll show you. For example, hopefully this is about 1 inch. It's a little bit wider. Hang on. Didn't really plan that out. Let's see if a 1/2 inch will fit. Oops, we'll go on this side. So you can go in from the front, but you're going to have to end up looking at the back. If you can see here, you line that up where that is even, where this paper is all the way against this back wall. Okay. Then punch it. And then you've got your little cute little thing on the end. So it shows up more, of course, if it's wider, but that gives you the concept anyway. So that's all we did. It takes a little bit to do the blends. But we didn't do a fancy fun fold or anything. But this was going to be an invitation to the Taco Fiesta night, only I didn't get it finished inside because I was in charge of the inside after Rebecca helped me do the outside. And I could not get to it. I had so much going on that I decided we're going to make this a thank you card to everybody who came. Yes, Rebecca, Time Worn Top. That's exactly it. Thank you for that. That is the name of the embossing folder that we used right here. Time Worn Top. Good job. Thank you, ma'am. And then we just used several of the greetings on the inside. So you could use these little encouraging notes. Anybody would appreciate those, but they all kind of work with a card like this. The spectacular, you're not your average friend, and you spice up my life. Got to have a lot of those friends, right? So that's it. Hopefully that helps today to have a little lesson in the Stampin' Blends. And if you have any questions about subscribing to Paper Pumpkin or purchasing any of the other products, I am just happy to help you with any of those. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll get some of this out of the way, switch back over, and if nobody has any questions, I hope y'all will join me for some classes soon. I do, if you're in the Lubbock area. I do have several already planned, and I'm working on some, and I would love to do a bingo. That's why we tried that last night. So if any of y'all are interested in an online bingo, let me know about that. And thanks again for tuning in, and thanks especially Felicia. I really enjoy working with you and my team members, Judy and Rebecca, and you other Facebook users who are here. I've got one, Diane. Maybe that may be one of my team members too. I'm not sure which Diane that is. And Connie, thanks for tuning in from New Mexico. Appreciate everybody who shares and lets folk know I appreciate you letting your friends know, your crafty friends, that they can tune in anytime to videos. And I do have PDF tutorials. I have classes, all that. So y'all just let me know what you're interested in, and I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.